everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and in today's video we're going to be doing another episode of reading the oldest books on my physical TBR. But this one just happens to be a romance edition of it. So before I get into the video, please remember to like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. I primarily read fantasy, thriller and romance books and I post videos every Sunday. So I do this sort of series on my channel where I really focus on reading the oldest books on my physical TBR. I find that, you know, the shiny new things come in and you want to pick those up first and then you neglect the ones that you've had for ages. Or I do this weird thing as well where I save books because I know I'm going to really enjoy them, and yeah, that's the whole thing that I just need to get out of. So today's 4 books for this vlog, they all happen to be romance books. Now clearly back in sort of February of 2024 when I bought all of these books or acquired them, I was clearly in a romance mood because there's just so many romance books that I've had for such a long time and not got to. So the 4 books on this TBR are going to be Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This is the first book in the Vancouver Storm series. I own quite a few Stephanie Archer books and haven't read any of them, which is not good. So I really want to start this one and get this one done. We then have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. You can see this one's gotten a bit bashed around a bit, but again, I bought this one back in 2024. It was really hyped up. Everyone seems to really love this series, and one of my closest friends also really loves this series and highly recommended it, and I just haven't gotten to it, and I really want to read this. I don't know why I keep putting it off, but I'm gonna finally get to this one. We then have Not in Love by Hazelwood. Again, I pre-ordered this one and I haven't gotten to it, and there's even a sequel out to this one now, so that's what I'm going to say about that one. And then we have Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti. I got this one off of my sister-in-law. She kindly gave this to me after she read it and I haven't got to it, so so those are the 4 books we're going to be getting to in this vlog. I mean, 2 of them are hockey romances, I think, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get a bit confused between the 2 of them, but we're going to go with it and we will crack on reading these now. I have started the first book for this reading vlog, which is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This is a ice hockey romance and we follow Nate and Anastasia, or Stacy, and Stacy is a figure skater. She's in University of California on a scholarship to hopefully one day qualify for the Olympic team as a figure skater, and Nate is the captain of the ice hockey team. And in the very beginning of this book, they have 2 rinks at this university because they're well renowned for their ice hockey and things like that. Someone pulls a prank or something happens and one of the rinks goes out of action and they have to end up sharing the ice rink essentially. So they have to coordinate their schedules and things like that, and very quickly they are very attracted to one another and they kind of play this game of cat and mouse as to he kind of chases her around a bit and then they eventually admit they have not feelings for each other, but they're attracted to each other and start a like sort of friends with benefits kind of thing. And then it's just turned out that Aaron, Stacey's figure skating partner, so he is very manipulative, very bossy and very nasty to her, but she doesn't really see that. He constantly comments on her weight and things like that, and he ends up being injured and he says that Nate did it, but Nate didn't actually do it. Nate takes the blame, and that's kind of where I've gotten up to. So this is obviously going to put a spanner in the works of their relationship, but also for Stacey's dreams of qualifying for the Olympics, because she's never done it solo. She's only ever done with partners. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I'm really loving the relationship between the main 2 characters. I love Lola, Stacey's best friend, as well. I love how supportive she is and just like she's a great character to read about. I love the ice hockey team. I love all of the characters that we've met from the ice hockey team. They're all such sweethearts, and like Henry, especially Henry, like I think we get a book about Henry later on in this series, but I'm really enjoying the like friendship that they all have with Stacey and Lola, just like the friendship they all have with each other, how nice they all are and just how funny they all are as well. Like they work with Stacey to wind Nate up. At the beginning works with Stacey to get one of his teammates Robbie with Lola, her best friend. I just really love that. I just hate Aaron. I hate Aaron, her figure skating partner. I'm like kind of glad he's gotten injured, but also that means that her chances are, you know, her chances of qualifying for the Olympic team are now reduced. But I'm interested to see where this is going to go with her storyline. We haven't really had too much of the hockey yet. I guess it's just them sharing the rink, so I don't know if we're going to see them at any games or anything like that. I'm interested to see like who it was that caused this problem with the rink, who has injured Aaron, because Nate wouldn't do that because Stacey is like live laugh skating, like all she thinks about, she lives it, she breathes it. He wouldn't have hurt Aaron knowing that it would have hurt her chance at her dream. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm loving the relationship, like I said, love the friendship. I'm just loving it. I'm having a whale of a time. Like I'm giggling, like it's just such funny lines. Like Henry is just so sweet and so funny. There's things he comes out with is just so funny. I love like Nate's friendship with him as well, like how he would do anything for Henry, and it's just so sweet. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. I'm really annoyed that I've taken this long to read it because I knew I was gonna love it. I think I kept holding off on it because it's like a wintry book, so I don't want to read it in the summer, and then, you know, I just never got around to it. But I'm really enjoying this one so far. Definitely excited to carry on and also continue the rest of the series as well, but so far really enjoying this one. This is definitely sitting at like a 4-star for me currently. It's just not quite a 5-star, but I am really enjoying this one. So I'm gonna crack back on with this one and check back in with you guys when I'm done. I have now finished reading Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and I really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna give this one a 4-star rating. It just didn't quite have 5-star feelings for me. I really enjoyed that there was no sort of like miscommunication or like third act breakup sort of thing. I mean, there was a bit of conflict near the end, but it wasn't really between our two main characters, or like it wasn't miscommunication, which I really don't enjoy, and I enjoyed that it wasn't in this book. I think that they were really good together. I really enjoyed the friendship that they had with the people around them and how everyone was just trying to make each other a better person, really, apart from obviously Aaron. I loved how supportive Lola was. I loved how supportive Nate was of Anastasia. I really liked how Anastasia, when Nate was getting frustrated with some of the things that was going on, she didn't get angry. She was just sort of like, tell me what you're thinking. Like, they talked it out. Like I said, there was no miscommunication. There was a little bit of like falling out, but even then they weren't really angry at each other. They were just kind of angry at the situation and what they were going through, and I really enjoyed that. I just really love this. I'm really excited to carry on this series when I can get my hands on the next 2 books. I did ask for them for Christmas, so I know they're definitely coming. I can't wait to continue on this series. I really enjoyed this one. I did think it was a little bit long for how quickly they sort of got together, and I do feel like some of the conflicts, especially like with Anastasia and Aaron, was just quite repetitive. I understand she was wanting to give him another chance and things like that, but I was just kind of, I wasn't bored of reading it, but it was just kind of like, oh, here we go again sort of thing. But I did really enjoy this one. I would highly recommend this one. It's definitely quite different to what I've been reading lately romance wise. I really enjoyed this one. I just loved it, really enjoyed it. So 4 stars for this one, and on to the next one. I have now read the next book for this reading vlog, which is Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti, and I really didn't like this one. I gave this one a 2.5 star rating. So in this one we follow Naomi and Luca, who were pen pals in 5th grade, and essentially they never stopped writing to each other all the way into their adult lives, but they never wrote nice letters to each other. So Naomi wrote the first letter and she was quite nice. She asked Lucas about his family, about his life, things like that, and Luca never wanted to do the project in school, so he responded with a really nasty letter. They go back and forth with these horrible letters, sort of saying things like, oh, I hope you get a hangnail, and when you pull the nail off it pulls your skin off, just things like that. Nothing really like life-threatening, but just like silly. And this goes on for years and years, and then eventually 12 years later the letters stop coming from Luca, and then 2 years later after that they start up again, and Naomi's trying to work out, is she falling for Luca? And then she's got a bit of a love interest in real life and things like that. So Amy is a weather girl, and Luca has been kind of, so his family life growing up was quite strained. His mum and dad divorced, and then his dad never really saw him again. His mum died on his high school graduation day, and they're basically trying to work out, Naomi's trying to work out if she is falling for this guy called Josh or if she's falling for Luca, and just basically what she wants. What I didn't like about this is I was just a bit confused. How old are these characters supposed to be? Because I'm not American, I don't understand the American schooling system, but when I googled it, 5th grade is like 10 or 11, right? So then if these letters went on for 12 years after that, that would mean they were 22 when they stopped, and then 2 years after that when they start up again they would be 24. And yet in this book, does the author even know how old these characters are? Because it sounds like Naomi's nearly 30, and then there's a comment about, oh, it was on my 25th birthday a couple of years ago. So I'm like, so according to my research, you're 24. I just didn't understand how old these characters were, and then it really threw me out of the story because they were still sort of acting like the 5th graders in a way. I just didn't really like either character either. I didn't really like Luca. The love interest Josh was like okay. I just didn't really like the characters. I didn't like the whole premise of it, and it just, I understand what this author was probably trying to do, sort of like a enemies to lovers but like childhood sweetheart sort of thing, like a sort of mishmash of that. It just didn't really work for me. I didn't like the writing style. I didn't like the characters. Like I said, I was really confused throughout this whole thing, and like it was okay. I just wouldn't really say that this is worth the hype that it got. When I remember when this first came out and like everyone was reading it, giving it 5 stars, it's 2.5 for me. Like it was just kind of like okay. I didn't enjoy it. It's not my thing. Didn't like the characters. Was very confusing. That's all I really have to say about it. I just didn't really like it. I thought the sort of twists, a couple of twists that we got in here were just a bit obvious, and I guess like it's not a thriller book, it's a romance book, so that's kind of to be expected, but I was just kind of like, I could see this coming a mile off. And I think the whole thing with Naomi being really bad with names, like even with her co-workers, I was sort of like, you're just a bit like, I don't know, like when she gets really angry at her boss for calling her friend the wrong name, and then the boss is like, well, I thought this was a joke, like this is a wrong ongoing joke because you're calling me the wrong name. She never apologized to him. Like she got really angry at him for calling her friend the wrong name. She never apologized to him for saying his name wrong. So I was kind of like, she was just a bit full of herself really. And the friend as well, like is it Annie or Annette, whatever the friend's name was, I didn't really like her either. She was like, she was really nosy, but I just thought there was just, as well, so much stalking in this. Like Naomi is trying to find Luca because she doesn't have, he's writing letters to her but there's no return address and she doesn't know where he's living. So she's literally like flying across America trying to find him and like contacting his old friends and like neighbours, and I'm just like, this is a bit weird. It's a bit stalkery really. If the shoe was on the other foot, if this was him doing it to her, people would have a lot more to say about it. And even the way that Luca was contacting her, that whole thing was just so much stalking in this book. Like, how is this a romance? It's just, no, not for me. Not for me. I didn't really like this one, unfortunately. But they can't all be hits, so. I have read the next book for this reading vlog, which is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. And I'm going to give this one a 3.5 star rating. This one we follow Rue and Eli. Rue is a scientist and she works with a sort of close friend slash mentor called Florence. And Eli works for a company, or he's like the founder of a company who essentially buy other companies, invest in them, make them profitable, etc. And what happens is when Florence, which is Rue's mentor, when she was in like school or like college, she came up with this idea. She patented it. This is what the company is based on, but she had to take out loans to start the business, and Eli's company have bought the loan and they are kind of going through the company's finances and things like that to see what's going on. Prior to Eli's company buying this loan, Rue and Eli meet on like a sort of dating app, and they were going to sort of sleep together and things happen and they didn't. So they had met, they were attracted to each other, and then the next day is when Rue realizes who Eli is. Eli realizes who Rue is. They are conflicted as to whether sort of to continue this relationship or not. It's not really a relationship, they're just attracted to each other, and they decide to sort of have like a sort of friends with benefits kind of relationship until the company issues are resolved. To be honest with you, I gave this a 3 star, mainly because this just kind of follows the typical structure of an Ali Hazelwood book. I feel like her women in STEM novels, they all follow the same pattern and they're quite predictable in that we have a mentor to, so for example, Florence is Rue's mentor, and like in all the other Ali Hazelwood books, there is something not quite right with the mentor, or they're taking advantage of their student, and it kind of follows the same pattern as all her other books. So I think if this was maybe the first Ali Hazelwood book I'd ever read, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. That's not to say I didn't enjoy this, I did. It was just the same as the other Ali Hazelwood books essentially, so I can't really give it too much of a higher rating based on that. It's just the same sort of copy and paste formula at this point. I still enjoyed it. I liked Rue and Eli's relationship. I really liked Eli as a character as well. I thought he was really just like a good man, really. Like Rue set boundaries and he respected them. I mean, I guess the bar's kind of low. I did enjoy that there was more to this than just a romance. Like I do enjoy reading about the whole like women in STEM and like the stuff that's going on, but it's just getting a bit predictable now. So I'm hoping that with future Ali Hazelwood books, maybe it becomes a bit less predictable, but I knew exactly where this was going to go when all of the characters were introduced, and I could tell that something wasn't quite right, and like Eli was keeping things from Rue in a way to protect her. I just kind of knew what was going on really. So I did enjoy this one, a 3.5 star rating. It's definitely not my favourite Ali Hazelwood book. I'm kind of wondering if I reread some of her previous books, if I would enjoy them as much anymore. She is fun, it's a good palette cleanser. It's definitely different to the normal type of romance that you read. Like I said, it follows, you know, women in STEM, but it is just getting a bit formulaic, and these novels are all kind of blending in together. I feel like all the protagonists are pretty similar, the storylines are pretty much the same. It's just kind of like chopping and changing character names, and like the side characters are a little bit different. I know that this has a sequel, Problematic Summer Romance, which I will be checking out. Like I said, I do enjoy Ali Hazelwood's writing, and I do think that one might be a little bit different, so I'm willing to give that one a go. I also have Deep End as well, well, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, 3.5 stars for this one. It was a quick read, it was an easy read. I did enjoy it. It just wasn't anything like revolutionary, and certainly not different to her other books. They're very formulaic, which isn't a bad thing. Like, it works, you know. I know she's a very popular author, but I'm just kind of getting a little bit bored of it. So 3.5 star for this one. Did enjoy it, but just not my favourite. So that's that one done. And to be fair, I have had this one on my TBR for a while. I think I kind of realised when I stopped reading Ali Hazelwood for a while, in that when I read her books, I enjoy them, but I just feel like absolutely no desire to pick them up because they are so similar to one another, I think. So I'm going to carry on with the series. I will read the books that I own, but maybe I'll have a think of whether I will be sort of purchasing any more of her books. We'll see. Maybe I need to go on a bit of a break with Ali Hazelwood. But yeah, 3.5 star for this one. I'm glad I read it because it is finally off my shelves now. I have made some progress in the final book for this reading vlog, which is Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. And I'm actually really annoyed at myself that I've only just now picked up a Stephanie Archer book. I have quite a few on my TBR. I've got the first 3 books in this series, and then I think the first 3 books in her other series. And I am really enjoying this one so far. I would go so far to say that I'm loving it. In this one, we follow Jamie and Pippa. Jamie is a professional ice hockey player. He is the goalie for the Vancouver team, and Pippa and him went to high school together, and she ends up becoming his assistant. He is very begrudgingly after an assistant. He rescues a stray dog and decides that an assistant could basically just walk the dog for him and things like that. When he realizes that the assistant is Pippa, he tries to fire her because he has a massive crush on her. He has since school, and eventually Pippa basically manages to keep the job, and they kind of grow closer together, forming a friendship. She has just come out of a long-term relationship with her ex, who was a musician and has basically like shot her down over the years, telling her that she's not very good with writing music, singing, things like that. But Jamie believes that she's actually phenomenal at this, and everyone around her seems to believe that she's amazing at this as well. Pippa is helping Jamie with his mother. His mother struggles with depression and panic attacks because Jamie's dad died. Jamie was only 2 when his dad died, and it was a drunk driving accident, and ever since then she's been traumatized by this. So Pippa helps Jamie with her mum, and Jamie kind of encourages her to get back into singing and things like that. And they strike up a friendship, which very quickly turns into a sort of, not a relationship, they've sort of done things together, but neither one of them wants to destroy what they have. So I'm really enjoying this one so far. Both of our characters are very interesting. There's a lot of depth to them as well, and I think there's a lot of depth to the side characters as well. Like Donna, Jamie's mum, we follow her quite a bit as well. We've had quite a few interactions with her now, and you can see where Jamie kind of gets his caring attitude from. He really does feel like he's got to look after everyone, and as sort of Pippa says to him, you know, who looks after you. Pippa really comes into herself in this, I think. I'm really excited to watch her grow throughout the rest of this book, and hopefully they do end up getting together. I mean, it is a romance, it can only really go one way. But I am really enjoying this one so far. I'm loving the ice hockey. I do love a great ice hockey romance. I think this is really good. I'm really enjoying like seeing Pippa go to the games and sitting with his mum and just her interacting with the other players. Jamie really struggles as well to like open up to people. He doesn't want to really be friendly with the people that are on his team, but his coach kind of like pulls him out of his comfort zone and makes him interact with these people. So yeah, I'm just really loving the characters, really loving the story. There's a lot of deep topics going on in here as well. I'm just really enjoying this one so far, and I'm really annoyed at myself that I've taken this long of owning this book to finally pick it up, but glad I have, and I'm definitely going to be picking up more Stephanie Archer ASAP really. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on with this one. I am about 250 pages through, so I'm quite a bit of the way through. I think I can get this finished today. It's not going to take me any time at all as well, because I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this one, and I'll check back in with you guys when I'm done. But loving this one so far. I think this might be my favourite in the reading vlog. I'm just coming in to wrap this reading vlog up because I have now finished reading Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. I'm going to give this one a 4-star rating, so I really enjoyed this one. I loved the couple, I loved all the side characters, I really loved how the resolution of this book sort of unfolded. I really liked that the confrontation between Pippa and her ex wasn't really explosive. There was no fight between the two boys or anything like that. It was just Pippa standing up for herself. It was really nice to see her sort of come into her own, gain some confidence and really believe in herself. It's really nice to have Jamie sort of fighting her corner, not sort of pushing her into things, but almost pushing her into things, or some things anyway, like just being there to support her. I think that's really what she needed. I really like, like I said, I really liked the side characters. It was nice to see Jamie's mum kind of finally accept help and kind of realise that maybe she's been holding Jamie back a bit as well with sort of her problems and her struggles, and it was nice to see Jamie sort of come into his own as well. Like, he was already pretty confident anyway, to see him kind of like really have a tough conversation with his mum. And I think it's going to be interesting as well with the new teammate that we have. So Jamie has a friend from high school who plays for an opposition team. They used to be best friends. He had a massive falling out and they were playing on rival teams, and now the best friend has just joined Jamie's team. So I'm interested to see where that goes, and I'm definitely hoping that we get more of Jamie and Pippa in future books. I'm interested to see some of these side characters and sort of follow them in future books. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'm definitely going to be checking out more Stephanie Archer ASAP. So yeah, 4 stars for this one. So I think this one was my favourite. Obviously I've read 2 ice hockey romances in this vlog. This one's definitely my favourite, and then Icebreaker, both really good. And then we also read Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood and Hate Mail. So Not in Love was definitely my 3rd favourite, still really good, and Hate Mail I really didn't enjoy. So that is the 4 oldest books on my TBR now read. So that is going to be the end of this reading vlog. Comment down below if you've read any of these books. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Thank you if you've made it this far, and please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.